Hello and a really warm welcome to this episode of the Money, Mindset and Miracles podcast. I'm going to talk today about how I stopped faffing and started selling, but it was a really important lesson that I needed to learn back in 2016. So let's just transport ourselves over there right now. So 2016, I had been in business for a little while. I'd had 2 years of running my business as a business coach, building on the success of my earlier business when I was a private coach. And I was doing okay. I was making consistent months of 1, 2, 3K. But I was stuck and I was doing everything. I was attending all the webinars. I was downloading all the free resources. I was investing in my business. I'd had a private coach. I'd invested in programs, boot camps, courses, everything you could think of. So I was implementing all the strategies. I had funnels and email sequences and social media platforms. And, I was busy. I filled my day with being absolutely busy. 2016 was a critical point for me. I've shared this in a previous podcast where I had invested a lot of time and money in a launch back in the January of 2016, and to be honest, it was a little bit of a disaster, but it did lead me to one of the biggest breakthroughs as well. And I realized at that point I needed to work more consistently on my mindset, and I've completely shared that in a different podcast. In the show notes I'll link that podcast in as well. But this point had got me to 2016, and I was attending an in-person event in Birmingham with my coach at the time. We went along to this in-person event surrounded by similar people who all were on this path of increasing their business, significantly every month, and I felt like such a fraud sat in that room. I was quiet at that event and I was listening and I was taking everything in. And then when it came to my time to be supported, I think we were all having like hot seat sessions in the day, I started complaining about the lack of sales in my business. And my coach at the time, she knew me really well. She was following my marketing activities online. She could see exactly what I was doing. And when I got to the end of my kind of complaint about the lack of sales in my business, she asked me this one simple question that actually changed everything for me. And that question that she asked me was, if I was a shop on the high street and I had an open and close sign, she asked me in terms of my active selling, if I was at a shop on the high street, if my sign would be closed or if it would be turned to the open sign. Quite simply, she was asking me how active I was in my selling. And the honest truth was, and it hit me at that moment, is I was really active in selling when I was in launch mode, but launches only came around once a quarter. All the other time, I just relied on people finding me and asking me how to come and work with me. I would have a launch, I'd take on some new clients, I'd get really busy with those guys. I would be inconsistent with my marketing, inconsistent with any more selling. I'd get to the point where I'd be finished with those clients. They would either, finish working with me, maybe choose to work with me on a private way, but, the sales would be down. And again, I've spoken about this roller coaster ride that businesses often give you. And it all boiled down to two things. One was my mindset, and the second one was my inability to sell frequently. And you might be nodding along thinking, yep, I definitely have chosen not to sell. I don't want to be one of those business owners who all they do is sell. That was definitely me back in 2016. But everything changed after that event. And I realised that in order to hit my monthly goals, something around selling had to change. That to sell is to serve. And that is how I reframed selling. Is that I think we get caught up so much in the fact that selling is icky that we forget that actually selling is serving. And if you are creating a stack of content, if you are taking your audience so far on a journey with your content, perhaps you're showing up in free groups, perhaps you're running a free group, perhaps you are creating brilliant resources via social media, is that you're only taking your audience and your potential clients so far. You can't share everything you know and your expertise in the level of transformation that people achieve from working with you through your free content alone. And when you are showing up and you're serving, but you're failing to sell, you are kind of dishonouring your potential client there. There will be people who are ready for that level of transformation that only you can offer. There are people who are ready to come and work with you and to buy from you. And when we get fixated on, well, I only go into a launch once a quarter, guess what? When those people who are ready to work with you, but you haven't got anything available for them, they will actually go and find somebody else to work with. So you want to be making it really, really easy for people to be able to come and work with you at any point, at the time when they're ready. Because remember, when you are launching, that is when you are ready to launch. But that won't always match your audience's needs. So, two things here. I want for you to, if you are resonating with this, I feel really uncomfortable selling, I'm definitely not selling consistently. I want for you to think about reframing selling as serving, that you are taking your responsibility as the expert as you are, that you have the ability to transform your clients' lives, health, whatever it is that your area of expertise is, and that you have the ability to allow them to step into that transformation, and for you to reframe selling as serving, that you are serving, you are showing up, you are serving. And at every point in your content, in your offers, and in your selling, you are putting your soulmate client at the heart of all of that. And the second one I would like for you to take away from this is for you to reframe selling completely. If you are triggered by other people selling, if you are triggered about you selling or not selling, if selling is one of your biggest blocks to business success, this is an area that once you work on it, like I did in 2016, I tripled my profit in just 10 months. I wasn't working any harder, but I was working on my mindset, I was serving, and I was selling. And I think that every single person has the ability to sell and to create their own preferred style of selling. Selling doesn't need to be icky. If you are feeling that selling is icky, it is highly likely that you have had an experience in the past where you've been sold to and it's made you feel uncomfortable, or perhaps you've bought something under pressure and it's left a long-lasting impression that selling is icky. If you have any of those beliefs or anything else that have been uncovered from this podcast, I really want to urge you to go and work on that. Change your belief around selling, because this could be the biggest stumbling block that you work on, overcome, and therefore it allows you the ability to go forward and actually grow your business and for you to achieve those goals and dreams that you have too, just like I have. So I would love to hear from you. What has resonated from this podcast episode? Come and tell me in the comments below. How are you going to approach selling differently in your business from this point on? Come and tell me in the comments as well. And if you are ready to scale your business really simply, I've got the most amazing free workshop coming up, which is called Scaling Made Simple. Sharing this workshop exactly how you can scale your business gracefully, how you can become super comfortable selling, and the 3 key income streams you want to have in your business to make scaling your business to 5k a month and beyond really, really simple. So come and join me. It's completely free. You can sign up over on my website, which is rachelsmith-thebusinessgrow.com/scaling-made-simple. I'll also put the details down in the show notes as well. This is going to be such a brilliant workshop. I cannot wait to share all of this with you. If you have loved today's episode, I would love to hear from you. Come and tell me in the comments below what you're going to do differently in your business when it comes to selling. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so that you get early notification of all new episodes. Until next time, bye for now.